plays the inclusivity card to the level, the scope, and the spread that we do it. And all that was as a result of the NRM government that is led by President Museveni, and that is part of the gains to be protected. So all those candidates that offered themselves were protecting the gains that were shared by the NRM government and candidate Yoweri Museveni.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Mike Sevalu. Now, on your screen, indeed, as you've seen, Jethro at Lubowa, that is the National Tally Center. He is going to have a conversation with the Vice President of Uganda, that is Major Jessica Alupo. I cannot imagine what she feels like right now, but let's head straight to the National Tally Center and hear that conversation as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for keeping it UBC. We are still coming to you live from the National Tally Center, where we do expect the EC Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama together with the Commission to come and give us the final and the last update or the verdict on who will be the President-elect. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for to this very side. But the last coming to you live from the National Tally Center, about where we do expect about 47,000 Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama together with the Commission to come and give us the final and the last update or the verdict,
meaning we had covered about 93.6.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for this very side. But still coming to you live from the National Tally Center, about where we do expect the EC Chairperson Justice Simon Byabakama together with the Commission to come and give us the final and the last update to talk to Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, Right Honorable Jessica Alupo. She will be telling us her opinion. What does she think?
Her Excellency, thank you so much for sparing time. First things first, you went in unopposed as a woman member of parliament to represent Katakwi district again. How did you get to this? How did you make it once again that the people decided that you go back to parliament to represent them?
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, viewers. The election process is a process that is very crucial, and therefore all the stakeholders are normally very keen in participating and contributing to the process. Therefore, I would like to start by thanking all Ugandans who have participated in these elections as candidates, as electorate, as mobilizers in different capacities. For the case of Katakwi, I would like to state that my journey on this election process was very interesting. But what I would like to point out is that the elections in Katakwi during the NRM primaries and from the time I got nominated in the national election were very free, very and fair. Interesting. But what I would like to point out is was extremely conducive and level for all candidates. During the NRM primaries, all the candidates and from the time I got nominated in the national election to interact with me at all times, very free, very campaigns interesting. But what I would like to point out is and gave way for me to become unopposed. I thank her very sincerely for her insight in recognizing that that was a good and a better option for all of us as the people of Katakwi district. And I indeed thank her and all the people of Katakwi district. So in as far as the elections for the presidential elections is concerned, somehow I participated in some parts of the country. I also noted that there was a conducive environment across the country for all the presidential candidates to reach out to the electorate. And I noted that all the people of Uganda are now aligned, are now aware and conscious that they must exercise their democratic right to select leaders after every 5 years. And on the election day, as early as 6, 7 o'clock, the people were very many in the polling stations. I thank the people of Uganda for going out to demonstrate that it is possible to freely and democratically elect our leaders after every 5 years. I have seen from the results in the tally so far is that His Excellency President Museveni is leading with 71.8%, and I think it is permissible to congratulate him even at this point as we wait for the final results that are going to be announced. His Excellency the President has presided over the campaigns in a very peaceful and fatherly way. He has presided over the campaigns in a way that was enabling all leaders of different colors to freely mix with the people, and I think we should also pay tribute to him for that.
Your Excellency, talking about very many politicians who went through unopposed, there are rumors that very many honorable members of parliament
all leaders
actually
of
buying
different
out
colors
these people.
to freely
What do you say
mix
about
with
this?
the people, and I think we should also pay tribute to him for that.
Statement
Your
that you have
Excellency,
just made.
talking about very many politicians who went through
Ably
unopposed, there are
responded
rumors
to
that
the situation
very many
for Katapi
honorable members of
district.
parliament
All leaders
Where
actually
my
buying
different
out
colors
these people.
to freely
What do you say
voluntarily
about
mix with
this?
the people,
withdrew
and I think we should also pay tribute to
for
him for that.
a statement
Your
that
Excellency,
you made
talking about
in a way that was not out of coercion, in a way that was out of pressure.
My thinking is that that should have been the case for all the candidates that went unopposed. If it is not the case, then I think it is also not my responsibility to delve into that. I think it is the responsibility of the Electoral Commission.
Your Excellency, my last question to you. Today and any minute from now, the EC will be giving out their final declaration. What should Ugandans expect? We have received different phone calls. There is fear that anything might happen when it comes to security, but you are on the
Delve
top.
into that. I think it is the responsibility
From
of
the
the Electoral
results,
Commission.
His Excellency President
My last
Museveni is
question
leading,
to you.
and
Today and any minute from now,
the
the EC
Ugandans are
will
all
be
watching
giving out their final
the TV,
declaration.
they are listening to
What should
radios, and they are following.
Ugandans expect? We have
It
received
is
different
important
phone calls. There is
for all
fear
of
that
us to
anything
prepare
might happen
for the
when it
outcome
comes
of the
to security,
elections.
but you are on the
Delve
top.
In
into that.
whichever
I think it
category
is
we belong
the
to,
responsibility
as far as
from the
parties are
Electoral Commission.
concerned, His Excellency President
My last
Museveni is
question to
leading
you.
Ugandans first and foremost.
Today and
To
any minute from
recognize
now,
the
the EC
Ugandans are
will
all
be
every election, there is always a winner
expect.
and those
We
that
have
will
received
lose.
different phone calls. There is fear that anything might happen when it comes to security, but you are on the
Delve
top.
into that. I think it is the responsibility
as far as
from the
parties are
Electoral
concerned,
Commission.
His Excellency President Museveni is Ugandans first and foremost.
Today
I
and
have
any minute from now,
recognized
the
the
EC will
Ugandans are
be
every
undertakings that the
election,
President has
there is
made in the
always
country is
a winner
unite all of us.
expect.
and those
We
that
have
will
received
lose.
different
After
phone
the
calls. There is
outcome
fear
of the
that
results
anything
that are due to be announced, I call upon all Ugandans to remain united and rally behind the president who is going to be announced so that he can be I call upon the security forces also to exercise their right of securing all the people of Uganda under the law. And I want also to persuade all Ugandans to recognize and comprehend the role and responsibilities of the security teams who are deployed. I would like Ugandans to look at them as their own brothers and sisters who are also there to play their role, to ensure that whether the election, after election, we must remain Ugandans and continue conducting our businesses as we have been doing so before the election.
Thank you so much, Her Excellency, retired Major Jessica Alupo, for that insight. Ladies and gentlemen, anytime from now, the EC chairperson will be coming in to give us the last update, and we shall be knowing who will be the president-elect anytime from now. For now, I hand over to the broadcast house.
Jethro, for that conversation with the Vice President of Uganda about 2:45 p.m. when the Electoral Commission comes back to give us the final result of the constituents of Uganda as we find out who the President of Uganda 2026-2031 is. That is for the next 5 years. You are watching UBC TV, and we come to you live from Nile Avenue, UBC, UG goes to the polls 2026. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. In studio with me is Honorable Mike Sevalu, and we're having conversations here and there regarding this particular season that we are in as Ugandans. And on that note, one of the mentions that the Honorable Vice President has made is on security. Coming back to you, Honorable Mike Sevalu. She did talk about the fact that as Ugandans, we should not fear security members. We should look at them as our brothers and sisters who are also playing their role. Do you really think that Ugandans are able to perceive men in uniform in such a stature?
Yeah, thank you very much, Julie. One thing on a light note, when I hear people say that when the chairman of the Electoral Commission is coming to tell us who the next president is, I just put in a bit of a light moment that when it comes to confirm, because for sure we all know that the president at the level of 71.8%, that is irreversible. It is not something that can be reversed. Like I did indicate earlier on, the president overlapped his next opponent 3 times. So to undo that and be able to gain victory is something that may never, even miracles of that nature can't happen now. Now, regarding security, one of the biggest gains that we are protecting is peace, security, and stability. And what is the reflection and the attraction of majority of Ugandans to candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni? Candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni represents peace, represents stability, represents security, represents progress, development, and all those are mothered by peace and security. So for us to protect the peace and security, they are actors. And the major stakeholders in terms of being major actors in the architecture of security are the security forces. We've been able to survive as a secure country for the last 40 years because of the security actors. The UPDF, the police, the prisons, and the security agencies. So when we talk about peace and security during this time, we need to have confidence in the security apparatus. And the beautiful thing is that security works on the basis of intelligence. They have information which we don't have. So when you see them deploy in a particular place, they are doing so on the basis of information. Maybe that is a security threat and they want to avert. Because if we allow security to be taken for granted, then we can find ourselves in a situation where government will be blamed. And the blame will always go to the president and his government. Because the primary work of the president is to secure the country, secure the people and their property. So that's why we need to appreciate the role and mandate of the security forces in an exercise of this nature, where even those that don't wish us well from the external may want to take advantage of this and do something that can compromise the security of the country. So it is in our interest, it is done in our interest, it is done for us and in our interest.
Right, and still on that particular matter of security, moving forward with the next government that is to take on, that is to take Uganda on, what advice do you have? What changes do you think need to be made? What should be done better in terms of governing the nation? When we start with security itself, the perspective on ground seems to be a little different. It seems like security is against the citizens of Uganda. So what do you think the government that is
the perspective is by some, but that perspective is projected and championed by some leaders. You know, there are those leaders who only believe that if they've not won, then they would rather let everything go to waste. You know, that is not being very strategic leadership, that is not being objective, that is not being good leaders. Because security is good for all of us. Security is good for the opposition, just like it is good for those in government. So security is a cross-cutting benefit. It is a common good. It is a general good. So those leaders that create an impression of that Uganda is not secured, or the security is not operating for good intentions of everyone, seriously, they are not being good. They are being bad losers who say, if we've lost it, let's create a situation that that is not good for everyone.
Right.
But I think just like candidate Museveni has always done, just like NRM has always done, this is not the first election we've participated in. The government has always taken security as paramount and has served the entire country without discrimination, because security is a cross-cutting benefit. Once the country is secure, anybody will use that enabling environment to get the best out of it. So I want to believe that securing Uganda will remain a top priority, just like it has been in the last 40 years.
Looking at the high expectation and indeed the confirmation that you have as the fact that candidate Museveni indeed is going to be announced as the next president,
the statistics are confirming
that are being told to us by the Electoral Commission, on top of protecting the gains, what changes do you suggest the new government should make as Uganda moves ahead?
I think the president and government have taken on the issue of transformation through household income, through getting the entire majority into the money economy. The parish development model is something that has been rolled out. It should be scaled up to the highest level, widen the scope of beneficiaries, enhancing the efficiency levels in terms of access, in terms of equity, making it more effective so that the beneficiaries do benefit from that, so that the development that we've been able to get in terms of the roads, in terms of the infrastructure, is translated into household income. And that is the focus that should be given high priority, high attention. All those that are given responsibility to implement that should do it to the best of their ability, so that we get a whole majority of Ugandans benefiting and transforming themselves from subsistence to money economy, and benefit from the the programs of government. Also, service delivery should be put at its highest. You know, universal primary education, universal secondary education, immunization, and all programs that have the effect of improving the welfare of the people should be put to the highest level of implementation. So the team the president is going to assemble, he should consider looking at those people that will increase effectiveness and efficiency of service delivery, but also of the transformation agenda, so that people get out of poverty, so that people create wealth, so that people enjoy a high standard of living.
Right. Now, on your screen, you might be wondering what is being displayed. It's how the different districts are performing in regards to domination of the parties. And you can see, as you can see, NUP and NRM are really into the different districts. Some districts like that on display is yellow, meaning that yellow has dominated that particular district. And of course, that too as well is yellow. So it's informing you, the chart is definitely just informing you which districts are being dominated by what party as you study it on there. Now, Honorable, speaking of, for your information, by the way, we do have 5 minutes to 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is the time that...
the hour, as it goes.
Indeed, 5 minutes to the hour, the long-awaited hour by Ugandans. But as we wait for that hour is the hour that Justice Simon Byabakama will come through to give us the final result of who the next president of Uganda is for the next 5 years and what the statistics look like. On the screen is a view of what Kampala looks like. The streets are very clear. We don't see any heavy police deployment on the streets. It's just a few cars moving. And the footage that you can indeed see from there, it's just quite calm and relaxed. It feels like a Sunday already on this Saturday. Now, Honorable, speaking of the people that the president is going to work with, let's look at the youth. Uganda is 75% youth populated, and many times youth feel left out in line with making policies, in line with being heard as to what befits this current generation. What do you think should be done in the next government regarding youth involvement?
I think we need to first appreciate the youth engagement and youth involvement. Youths are at all levels of decision making. Every single level. When you come to the village, there is a youth representative. Go to the parish, go to the sub-county, go to the district, and go to the national parliament. But the youth also have mainstream channels of participation. The youth councils, the women councils, the councils for the disability. So Uganda has put framework of different participation by different stakeholders.
Right.
But I also want to encourage that in terms of assembling the team, the president needs to give that due consideration.
Indeed.
We need to see a youthful team.
And a very vibrant cabinet.
But the most important thing is to get a good mix. Right. Let the team have a good mix, or where the youth look in there and their image is there, where the elderly, where the women, where the disability. So let it be a good mix. But the bottom line should be competence, ability, and capacity to deliver.
Right. Let's head over to the clock tower flyover where Arnold Mark Waduro is, for him to just speak into what the environment is like. From the footage we've seen, it's calm, collected, as easy as a Sunday morning, but definitely we'll get the best story from his mouth. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you very much, Broadcast House. We're coming to you from the Central Business District. To be specific, we're coming to you from downtown Kampala on Queens Way, at the flyover road. Well, the ambience here is quite normal. The mood is quite somber. It's not anything that we probably been hearing. In Kampala, we can see that transportation is going on. Of course, the traffic is relatively less than the usual, considering the fact that it's following a day that was considered a public holiday. Of course, the voting and the tallying day. And when you look around, the mood is really normal. You could think that this was just any other public holiday. But the borders are packed on the streets waiting for those clients that decided to come out today. We're also seeing pedestrians. We're also seeing taxis. We're actually proximate to the old and new taxi park, and the taxis are coming in, going out as normal as they should. We don't see any signs of unrest. We are confident that the streets are actually safe. To also talk about the security situation, there are several cars, there are several police vehicles parked on the side, and they are supervising the